In this video, a vicious new campaign has been launched attacking Tesla, specifically their life-saving, injury-preventing, disability-preventing autonomous software. And I'm not just pulling this out of my ass, there's data to back this up. In my opinion, it really does take a sick, twisted, demented, and/or well-paid individual to attempt to discredit this incredible life-saving technology. So in this video, I'll be sharing exactly what's happened, and of course my thoughts and opinions along the way. Please keep in mind that everything I say in this video is my opinion, it's speculation, blah blah, do your own research. The only thing I can say with absolute certainty as a fact is the man behind this campaign is a gigantic I'm just kidding. Not that he's a but that's a fact. Obviously that's also just my opinion based on substantial evidence. So, sit back and relax as we prepare to run through exactly what's going on. I speculate as to what some of the reasons behind this attack on Tesla may be. I share some actual data, and of course explain why I'm so mad. I strongly recommend you guys and girls stick around and watch the entire video beginning to end. There's a lot of important context, but if you're a little short on time, check out the timestamps. You can skip forward to the relevant section. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos, there's a bunch of ways you can support the channel, access exclusive content and perks, and get some free stocks and crypto. Check out the links in the pinned comment below. You can get 2 free stocks with WeBull, a free stock with Stake, free Bitcoin with Coinbase, and free Bitcoin with BlockFi, and the BlockFi Bitcoin Rewards credit card. You can also pick up some Tesla, Elon, and investment themed merch in the merch store. If you want to take it to the next level, join thousands of members on Patreon to gain exclusive access to over 100 Q&A videos, loads of exclusive content, exclusive access to my up-to-date 10-year Tesla stock price targets, and even access my Tesla valuation model at the investor support level and above. So check out the links in the pinned comment below, and thanks for your support. First of all, let's discuss Tesla safety. Not only their mission, but also the data, the evidence, the facts, the numbers from Tesla's website. Tesla Vehicle Safety Report. At Tesla, we believe that technology can help improve safety. That's why Tesla vehicles are engineered to be the safest cars in the world. If any of you are wondering why that's underlined, if we click through, we have evidence to back that claim up. Model 3 achieves the lowest probability of injury of any vehicle ever tested by NHTSA. This was back in 2018. If you guys are curious, search on the Tesla website. We're going to skip over this, but the facts are here, okay? This is NHTSA data. This isn't Tesla data. This is Tesla telling everybody what NHTSA found. Model 3, safest vehicle ever tested because lowest probability of injury in an accident. The end. We believe the unique combination of passive safety, active safety, and automated driver assistance is crucial for keeping not just Tesla drivers and passengers safe, but all drivers on the road. It's this notion that grounds every decision we make, from the design of our cars, to the software we introduce, to the features we offer every Tesla owner. Model S, X, and Model 3 have achieved the lowest overall probability of injury of any vehicle ever tested by the US government's new car assessment program. And again, this is underlined for a reason. It's a link. We can see the probability of injury for the Model 3, S, and X here, lowest ever, followed by other cars represented in grey. So consider this for a moment. The first 3 volume production vehicles Tesla produces are literally the safest 3 vehicles ever tested in the United States by NHTSA. Ever. So it seems likely that Tesla, who claim that safety is their top priority, actually mean it because the evidence backs it up. With this in mind, let's continue. Much of this has to do with the rigid, fortified structure of the battery pack that is mounted to a car's floor, which provides a vehicle with exceptional strength, large crumple zones, and a uniquely low center of gravity. Because of their strength, Tesla's battery packs rarely incur serious damage in accidents, and in the extremely unlikely event that a fire occurs, the state-of-the-art design of our battery packs ensures its safety systems work as intended and isolates a fire to select areas within the battery while simultaneously venting heat away from the passenger cabin of the vehicle. While no car can prevent all accidents, we work every day to try to make them much less likely to occur. Active safety features come standard on all Tesla vehicles made from September 2014 for an additional layer of safety beyond the physical structure of each car. Because every Tesla is connected, we're able to use the billions of miles of real-world data from our global fleet, of which more than 1 billion miles have been driven with Autopilot engaged, to understand the different ways accidents happen. We then develop features that can help Tesla drivers mitigate or avoid accidents. Through over-the-air software updates, we're able to introduce safety features and enhancements long after a car has been delivered, as well as release updated versions of our existing safety features that take into account the most up-to-date real-world data collected by our fleet. In October 2018, we began voluntarily, I want to underscore this, voluntarily releasing quarterly safety data. One more time, voluntarily releasing safety data. They don't need to do this, but Tesla's keeping themselves accountable, sharing this data with the world, trying to hold themselves to a high standard and get better over time. This is how much Tesla prioritizes safety and believes in their ability to improve safety over time. We began voluntarily releasing quarterly safety data in order to provide critical safety information about our vehicles to the public. And in July 2019, we began voluntarily releasing annually updated data about vehicle fires as well. Accident rates among all vehicles on the road can vary from quarter to quarter and can be affected by seasonality, like reduced daylight and inclement weather conditions. Now, let's look at the actual data regarding Tesla vehicle safety. So let's go back as far as we can in time and then work our way forward to understand, are Tesla vehicles getting safer over time? And are they safer than the average vehicle in the US? Since the most recent quarterly data available is from Q4 2021, we're going to start with Q4 2018. In the fourth quarter of 2018, Tesla registered one accident for every 2.91 million miles driven in which drivers had autopilot engaged. For those driving without autopilot but with our active safety features, we registered one accident for every 1.58 million miles driven. For those driving without autopilot and without our active safety features, we registered one accident for every 1.25 million miles driven. By comparison, NHTSA's most recent data shows that in the United States, there is an automobile crash every 436,000 miles. So even a Tesla vehicle without any of the safety features enabled, having far fewer accidents. This is a combination of braking, lower center of gravity, blah, 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 blah. It seems, based on this one sample of data, that Tesla's autopilot software dramatically reduces the likelihood of people being involved in an accident as far back as Q4 2018 when Tesla began publicly sharing this data. Let's see if we can notice a trend. We're just going to focus on the key numbers here. Can we see an improvement? What we want to see here is an increase in these numbers, 2.91, 1.58, and 1.25 million miles. Let's look at Q4 of 2019. Fancy that. With autopilot engaged in Q4 2019, one accident every 3.07 million miles versus the US average, one accident every 479,000 miles. Seems like Tesla vehicles are getting safer over time. Clearly, if you have autopilot engaged, you're much less likely to have an accident than the US average. Significantly, statistically, demonstrably safer. Let's say about 2020. What do you know? The trend continues. Autopilot engaged, one accident every 3.45 million miles. Active safety but no autopilot, one every 2.05 million miles. And no safety features whatsoever, one every 1.27 million miles. US average still in the high 400,000 mile range. How about 2021, the most recent quarter? Imagine that, the trend continues. In the fourth quarter, we recorded one crash for every 4.31 million miles driven in which drivers were using autopilot technology. The US average, one accident every 484,000 miles. So if we do some really rough ballpark numbers here, in Q4 2021, if you're driving a Tesla vehicle with autopilot engaged, you're about 10 times less likely to be involved in a collision than the average US driver at one accident every 484,000 miles. In case you have a short memory, Q4 2021, autopilot, one accident every 4.31 million miles. Let's go back to 2018 in Q4, one accident every 2.91 million miles. That is a dramatic improvement. And it's clear based on this evidence that being in a Tesla with autopilot engaged makes you dramatically less likely to be involved in a collision. And if you're a little bit dumb, let me explain. If you're in a collision, you have an increased probability of being injured, permanently disabled, or dying. Seems that there's some pretty strong evidence here that Tesla vehicles are very safe. If you've got autopilot engaged, you're even safer, and that's a good thing for people not dying, not being injured, and not being permanently disabled. I don't think anyone whose brain functions would argue about this point. This is data, this is evidence. We don't need any emotion here or any feelings. These are the facts. And just quickly, before we move on to the vicious attack on Tesla, I want to clarify something and acknowledge the data that we just looked at. Tesla's average accidents per mile with autopilot engaged aren't an apples to apples comparison with the average accidents per mile driven in the United States. Why? Because autopilot only works in some situations, generally speaking, highway driving. This is the best data we have available. So things to focus on: one, the trend. Tesla safety is dramatically improving year after year. We saw that. And two, more importantly, let's use our brains a little bit and think. In the event of a collision, which scenario on average is likely to produce the worst outcome? An accident at 100 kilometers an hour, for those of you who use the world's dumbest measurement system, that's about 60 miles an hour, aka on highways where autopilot works, or an accident in the city where maybe you get rear-ended, and I don't mean by your boyfriend. It'd be great if we had apples to apples data, but the point here, of all the places to have improved safety, the number one in terms of reducing the likelihood of a fatality, a permanent disability, or major injury is at highway speeds. Now, if you don't understand why, just brush up on physics, mass, energy, and maybe a little bit of velocity, and that's all you need to know to figure this one out. And now with that extremely important context out of the way, a Tesla today, using Autopilot software, about 10 times less likely to be involved in a collision than the US average. Not my opinion, fact. Data backs this up. Let's move on to the vicious and, let's be honest, brain-dead attack on Tesla's Autopilot software. This tweet from Dan O'Coward appeared on my feed today. I quote, "Today I placed a full-page advertisement in the New York Times." I've got to take a quick pause here. Talk about a dinosaur move. Let's have a look at the readership of the New York Times. So the physical newspaper we're talking about here, by the way. I mean, what is this, like 2,000? Here's the average readership of the New York Crimes over the last 2 decades. We can notice a very steady decline. Strange anomaly there, but the point here, viewership is dying. I mean, legacy media is dead, print media is dead. This has been obvious for years. Current readership as of 2020, about 850,000 people. So that's about the size of the audience this print ad would reach, obviously not including people talking about this on social media. To be honest, I think there's going to be more than 850,000 people pointing out the ridiculousness of this ad. It's probably going to be counterproductive. This Twitter account may disappear in a few days. Shout out to Missy Cumguzzler, Lord Lisa, what is her name? I forget. Anyway, let's move on. Shout out to Trevor Meltdown Milton. Pretty high probability this Twitter account eventually gets set to private and or deleted. Unreasonable attacks on Tesla tend to lead to people being exposed. Today I placed a full-page advertisement in the soon-to-be extinct New York Times, campaigning to ban Tesla full self-driving from our roads. Real Dawn Project is organising the opposition to Elon Musk's ill-advised full self-driving robot car experiment. Just for the record, Dan O'Coward here, at the time I'm recording, follows one person on Twitter, 283 followers, a little speck. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of growing interest in the coming days. Whenever I see an unwarranted attack directed toward Tesla, I ask myself the question, what's the incentive? What's the motivation? Why is this nobody, no offense Dan O'Coward, but I mean, not much of an online presence, suddenly tweeting and taking a full page ad out in the New York Times? Why would this Dan O'Coward actually do this? Could there be a possible conflict of interest? Could there be a reason behind the scenes? After all, there's data, there's evidence suggesting how safe Tesla's Autopilot software is. It's literally saving lives, preventing injuries and disabilities. So why would somebody take the time and spend the money to take out a full-page ad in the New York Crimes to tarnish the reputation of this company, their safety record, and the software that's not only operating the vehicles today, but more importantly, the software that will ultimately save millions of lives in the future, FSD Beta, which at one point will no longer be FSD Beta because it will be so safe it doesn't need human supervision and will literally be saving countless lives every single year. You may notice that not once in this ad in the New York Crimes is the term beta included when describing full self-driving beta, which is the only version of the software currently available, and that whole beta thing, kind of important. The implications here, it's not actually finished software, that's why it's called beta. This is very dishonest and deceptive. Could this be jealousy? Envy? Could there be a conflict of interest? Could there be a large bag of money dropped in his lap now? Again, I'm not making accusations here, I'm just hypothesizing and thinking out loud. What could some of the possible motivations be? Dave Lee, by the way, replying, shout out to Dave. I think it's only fair and honest for you to disclose which Tesla competitors your company Green Hills Software have taken money from. We might have a rabbit hole to go down, folks. Elon Musk responding, Green Hills Software is a pile of trash, Linux for the win. Long story, I won't explain that in today's video. If you guys want to do the homework, you'll figure it out. Shout out to the white paper from Green Hill. So before we dig any deeper, a quick tweet here from Ross Gerber relating to today's incident. Tesla don't need a PR team when you've got Twitter. Very relevant, and also YouTube. This is a tweet from Ross Gerber quoting himself. There has not been one accident or injury since FSD Beta launch. Not one. Not a single one. In that time, 20,000 people have died on the road in car accidents. Correct, Elon Musk? Elon confirming that is correct. So, just to be clear, Autopilot is different from full self-driving beta. A lot of times these are conflated. Autopilot is available to everybody. FSD Beta, per the name, is in beta. It's a very limited release. The latest iteration of Tesla's full self-driving software, not one accident yet. It's being very well managed, very sensibly rolled out. Just for context, let's have a quick look at this full-page ad, which appears to have been designed by an intern who did their graphic design studies in 2001. No offense, but just being honest here. Don't be a Tesla crash test dummy. Making computers safe for humanity. The Dawn Project. See this? Clout chasing. Trash Tesla, promote your own company. Trash Tesla, promote your own company. We did not sign up our families to be crash test dummies for thousands of Tesla cars being driven on the public roads by the worst software ever sold by a Fortune 500 company. Big accusation. The Dawn Project, who appear to be congratulatory masturbating throughout this ad, is organising the opposition to Elon Musk's ill-advised full self-driving robot car experiment. The thing without a single accident having occurred. Taking out a full-page ad, campaigning to have this software removed from roads, the software which has yet to be involved in a single accident. Meanwhile, 20,000 people have died in car accidents during that same period of time with human drivers. Seems a little bit odd. We'll talk more about why this may be in a moment. Seems a bit strange, don't you think? Tesla full self-driving must be removed from our roads until it has 1,000 times fewer critical malfunctions, which have led to 0 accidents so far. By the way, I'm not saying it's perfect. That's why you need to monitor the software. That's why there's been no accidents, because people have been very cautious, been careful. Tesla's only rolling this out to super safe drivers. People understand that it's beta software, it needs to be monitored. And the evidence is that there hasn't been a single accident yet. It's kind of strange. Anyway, let's read on. Self-driving software must be the best of software, not the worst. I'm not even going to discuss how it gets better. I mean, like, this is like 3 IQ thinking right here. How do you make the software better, you fucking idiot? Oh, God, I'm not going there. The Dawn project has analysed many hours of YouTube videos made by users of Tesla's full self-driving. Our conclusions, based on videos posted online, are as follows. Again, our conclusions not based on any evidence or any data, but videos posted online. If full self-driving was fully self-driving every car, millions would die every day. This is just so fucking brain dead, it hurts. It really hurts. I mean, 0 accidents so far. How do we extrapolate from 0 accidents ever to millions of deaths per day? Serious question, by the way. Where is this number coming from? A big pile of cash that was dropped in somebody's lap? I didn't say that. It was a hallucination. I'm not making accusations. Obviously, I'm just thinking out loud. I mean, seriously, if full self-driving was fully self-driving every car, millions would die every day. Literally hundreds of times more fatalities than occur globally every year. About every 8 minutes, full self-driving malfunctions and commits a critical driving error, as defined by the California DMD Driving Performance Evaluation. Yet, 0 accidents so far. About every 36 minutes, Tesla full self-driving commits an unforced error that, if not corrected by a human, who has agreed to be in charge all times, monitor very closely, and has been correcting, hence 0 accidents. Need to underscore that point one more time. 0 accidents in FSD Beta to date. 0. If not corrected by a human, would likely cause a collision. But again, it was corrected by a human. 0 collisions to date, so what's the point? You fucking idiots. Unassisted. Full self-driving, by the way, there is no unassisted full self-driving beta. The beta software needs to be assisted and monitored at all times, ready to take over at all times. Nobody who's using the software is unaware of this, part of the terms of actually getting the software. Again, 0 collisions to date, so just want to keep that in mind. This is like a fairy tale scenario that doesn't actually exist in reality. Unassisted, in a parallel universe where that actually happens, full self-driving can't reliably drive for 1 day without crashing, but human drivers drive many years between crashes. Humans are thousands of times better at driving than Tesla full self-driving. The Dawn project is offering $10,000 to the first person who can name another commercial product from a Fortune 500 company that has a critical malfunction every 8 minutes. To apply, blah fucking blah blah blah. So now it's time for some wild, rampant speculation based on absolutely nothing. It's not grounded in reality. Please do your own homework. Everything I say, literally everything I say, is completely wrong. Nothing true here at all. I'm not making accusations. I'm just thinking out loud and hypothesizing in a crazy fantasy world, which obviously isn't actually based in reality. So we're over on the Green Hills software website, which apparently was designed by the same person that did that newspaper ad somewhere in 2001. I'm not trying to rip on this too much, but I mean, dinosaur is as dinosaur does. Dinosaur newsprint, dinosaur website. So, point is, maybe it's possible this dinosaur is feeling a little bit concerned about going extinct. It turns out that Green Hills software happens to have an automotive solutions section of its website. It's curious, isn't it? What's going on here in this car? Almost looks like the car's recognizing some objects there. Could there be some competition here? I don't know. Now, I'm not going to read through everything on the website. I've already done this previously. I don't want to drag this video out to 4 hours and 20 minutes long. I do recommend you guys and girls do a little bit of digging if you're curious about whether or not maybe there's a conflict of interest. Let's delve just a little bit deeper. What else can we discover? Well, if we go a little bit further down the rabbit hole, it turns out, and I quote, Green Hills platforms for automotive, automated driving systems. Wait, Are you telling me that the company, Green Hills Software, whose CEO just took out a full-page ad in the New York Crimes, which hardly anyone's going to see, so I hope he didn't pay too much for that dude, happens to have solutions for automated driving in cars? Is that really actually what's just happening here? I mean, is this actually true? I didn't make this website. This website's probably going to go down soon. It's probably going to get deleted. Hide some evidence, potential conflicts of interest. And that would never happen because that would probably be suspicious, wouldn't it? But it does seem, just on the surface of it, if we have a quick look here, that maybe there's a conflict of interest. Tesla deploying the world's best autonomous software by miles. They have an unassailable lead. No one's catching up to them. Tesla is going to dominate autonomous software in the future, it appears maybe there might be an incentive to attempt to tarnish the reputation of not only Tesla, but more specifically, their competing automated driving system. Or am I just imagining that conflict of interest? Let me know in the comments below. I'm probably just imagining it, right? Yeah, right. Let's dig a little bit deeper and try to figure out, is there anything else that we should be concerned about here? Potential conflict of interest, something suspicious, potential incentive motivation for trashing Tesla, for literally spending the money. It probably cost about $30 for that full page ad, given that newsprint's dying. But anyway, it's still a small investment, and the $10,000 prize, it's never going to need to be given out because of the way that it's worded. Let's see what else we can find. Green Hill Software Customer Gallery. Green Hill Software is the worldwide leader in embedded safety and security. Our technology and services have been chosen by prominent companies in over 50 countries to build their electronic products for everything from MP3 players to jumbo jets. So this is curious. With my design background, I can tell you guys for a fucking fact that these posters probably designed around 2 decades ago, just from the style, the font, everything. I mean, this could be as early as 1998 and as late as about 2004, maybe 5, unless the design is just really out of date. Anyway, the point is, this probably isn't super up to date, but these are some past customers. So what do we have here? Toyota Motor Company, a client of Green Hill Software. Is it possible that Tesla's ultimately going to be bankrupting Toyota because they're dumb and slow and didn't see EVs coming? Is that possible? Nah, nothing to worry about there. Toyota Prius. I mean, obviously, there's nothing to worry about there either. Nobody's buying a Tesla over a Prius. That's unheard of. Don't worry about that. Nothing to see there. In-vehicle telematics. It's not like Tesla has their own in-vehicle telematics software either, so let's ignore that. What's this? Ford as well. So it's not just Toyota, but Ford. It's not like Tesla's putting pressure on Ford and likely to put them out of business as well, so definitely don't need to worry about that. More Toyota, more Ford, and Mobileye as well, who definitely have nothing whatsoever to do with anything at all that Tesla's doing. So it's definitely zero possibility of any conflicts of interest here whatsoever. Absolutely none. Literally zero. Like the same number of accidents people operating Tesla's FSD Beta software that's so dangerous that it needs to be removed from roads have had since the software began being deployed. So let's quickly recap what we've witnessed in today's video and these unreasonable, in my opinion, attacks on Tesla. First, we saw the safety data clearly demonstrating with evidence and facts, not our feelings, opinions, and emotions, that Tesla vehicles are extremely safe, the safest vehicles on roads in the US, and Tesla's Autopilot software is not only incredibly safe, 10 times less likely to get in an accident than the average US driver, but also it's improving dramatically over time. We also saw from the man himself, Elon Musk, that there have been literally zero accidents with this supposedly dangerous software that needs to be removed from roads, according to this full-page ad in the New York Crimes. We then went down the rabbit hole and discovered that there could possibly, hypothetically, theoretically be a conflict of interest or 25 regarding the person who paid for this full-page ad, the company he runs, and what Tesla's doing. And I explained that it's absolutely impossible, just ludicrous to even imagine there could be any nefarious motivations behind this attack on Tesla. Many of you might say, well, Stephen, don't you have a conflict of interest? After all, you own a few shares of Tesla stock. Aren't you incentivized to defend the company against unreasonable, unfair attacks? I mean, against reasonable and fair attacks? Well, the truth is, I don't give a flying f*** what people say about me, Tesla, or anything in between. I mean, after all, if I cared, especially about people's opinions, I wouldn't have a fucking mullet. In fact, between you and I would love there to be more FUD about Tesla, lies, misinformation, attacks, damaging the stock price, because I could buy it on a massive discount. I'm a long-term investor after all, have been buying since 2016. 5 years ago, literally half a decade, and still buying with every spare cent. I'm a multi-decade investor, so the cheaper I can buy a Tesla stock, the better. The more FUD, at least FUD that's actually effective, shout out to advertising in a newspaper that no one reads, the better for me financially, because I'm buying Tesla at a discount. The reason that I made this video today is because this kind of disinformation, scaring people away from this life-saving, disability minimizing, injury preventing technology will literally result in more people being injured, permanently disabled, and or dying. This can slow regulation, this can scare consumers away from this technology. It's absolutely disgusting, shameless, and despicable, and people need to stand up against this bullshit. Not because it has anything to do with Tesla, but because the consequences, the side effects of this unreasonable, dishonest attack on Tesla, scaring people away from this software, will result in unnecessary suffering and pain. So, Dan Coward, if you happen to be watching, if you'd be so kind as to please go and get f***ed. That'd be great. It's nothing personal, it never is. But when I see actions from others that are likely to result in unnecessary suffering and pain being experienced by other people, I will stand up and say something. Speaking of saying something, let me know in the comments below what you guys and girls think of Dan's actions, this full page ad. Is it reasonable? Is it unreasonable? Is there a reason, an incentive, a motivation behind this ad being run? Or is Dan just really concerned about all the people that have already experienced a collision as a result of FSD Beta? All 0 of them. And just finally, speaking of standing up and saying something when it's important, if you guys and girls would like to know what I really think on a range of topics, not just this gigantic douche lord, in my opinion, I do recommend you guys and girls sign up to my Patreon page. Check out the card in the corner or the link in the pinned comment. There's over 100 exclusive Q&As. By this stage, I must have discussed thousands of different topics, completely unfiltered. Here on YouTube, somebody manually reviews all my videos, so I have to be fairly delicate about what I say, conform with their policies, and not trigger too many snowflakes or cause too much butthurt. However, I have a little bit more freedom on Patreon to express how I really think, not just on these topics, but many others as well. So if you're interested, head over there. Otherwise, I'll see you guys and girls in the next video, hopefully with a slightly more positive topic. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. Yep, even you, Dan Coward. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos, there's a bunch of ways you can support the channel, access exclusive content and perks, and get some free stocks and crypto. Check out the links in the pinned comment below. You can get 2 free stocks with WeBull, a free stock with Stake, free Bitcoin with Coinbase, and free Bitcoin with BlockFi, and the BlockFi Bitcoin Rewards credit card. You can also pick up some Tesla, Elon, and investment themed merch in the merch store. If you want to take it to the next level, join thousands of members on Patreon to gain exclusive access to over 100 Q&A videos, loads of exclusive content, exclusive access to my up-to-date 10-year Tesla stock price targets, and even access my Tesla valuation model at the investor support level and above. So check out the links in the pinned comment below, and thanks for your support. And if you're still watching, you're awesome. I read every single comment on this channel, and I really appreciate your feedback. So if you've got any thoughts on today's video, questions, comments, or suggestions for a new video, let me know in the comments below. Check the cards on screen now to browse the merch store, join Patreon, or watch the next video.